So let's take a look at the bass now. We'll start out by looking over here about the bass sound that I'm using. And so my basic sound is just simply a subtractor. I've thrown in one of the auto makeup gain compressors. This is a little easier compressor to use because it automatically adds back in the volume that the compressor is removing. And so then basically compresses the sound and then pushes the volume up a little bit. And then I've also thrown in the Line 6 bass amps that are included in Reason and added that. And so we get a sound that's something like this. Let's see. Okay, and here, let me take that down a little. So sawtooth wave, kind of buzzy, you know, got a kind of a bit of dirt to it. Okay, and then now the basic groove is right here, and you can see this. Let's go ahead and play it. And you can see how easy this was to create. We started here with just okay, and then we added in, oops, right here actually, and then we added one up above too. So just on the eighth note, so that's very easy to do, but I decided that it needed just a little bit of a kick to it, and so I put in a little syncope, and I kept it really short. Okay, and so that's the whole bass line to build as we build up here. You can see that it's the same thing all the way through here, and it's the same also where we start. Okay. But then we get to here. And here's where we're going to change things around. Because as we get into the groove, I really wanted it to start to move a little bit. And first thing you can see that I've done is I've taken the downbeats out. There's nothing on 1, nothing on 2. So nothing on any of the downbeats at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I just kind of moved it around, and this was just a matter of playing around with it. And here I can just show you how we might do that. You know, we pick this up, and so let's just play this one. And so, and maybe we'll make it really short. So we just move everything off of the beat. Let's see what happens there. And again, this is just, you just play around with it. And you just move around. And so on and so forth. And you just kind of play around with it. And what I ended up with, and we'll copy this back here because I'm not going to keep that, is this one. Da-da-da-da. And I took the downbeat off of there too, and that kind of made these extra notes kind of stick out a little bit more. And so that's the same all the way through there. But now this is kind of a sort of trance thing. Maybe I haven't really decided what kind of trance it is. And so I decided that I need some extra things going on here. And so I'm going to have 3 basses. And the next one I added in was a sub bass. And there's where we start to get some of the downbeats. But again, notice that it's quite syncopated. It's on 1, and it's basically every 3 divisions, every 3/16 notes I'm putting in a note until we get to the end, and then we kind of change it around a little bit so we can hear what that sounds like. Here, let's listen to that by itself. Okay, and this is just a simple sine wave bass. Let's see, we're down over here. There we are. And you can see it's just a couple of sine waves, slightly detuned, and not a whole lot going on there. I have added an equalizer in there, and you can see that I've really tightened that up. Okay, and we have a mixer in here too. I probably don't really need the mixer, but it's okay. I mainly did that so that it would come out as a stereo sound instead of being a mono sound. Okay, and so if we put the two together, a little cluttered. I might want to actually go in and maybe make some changes. Maybe go into this one. Let's see what it would sound like of it. Move that there, take that out. No, I think I liked it the way it was, even though it's a little cluttered. Because it's so low, it's such a low sound that I think we can get away with it. Now, I've added one more bass in there, and this is a really, really simple thing. And you can see it's just a jumping octaves, and it's up a little higher, and so it sounds like this. And again, syncopated, goes along actually quite tightly with the sub bass. But it's only one measure, and then it kind of more or less stops on beat 4. We have nothing there. So let's add our drums back in. And then the syncopation becomes much clearer because the drums are on the downbeats, giving us the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've added basically rhythm here. And that rumble down low sounds actually pretty good when we get. Okay, so then the next thing I needed to do is come up with a chord progression. This is an F sharp right now. I don't know why I chose F sharp, I just happened to do it. Right? And then to make it move, all I had to do is I copied these, all 3 of these by themselves, and to 3 different scenes, and then I transposed it. And so you can see that now instead of F sharp, we're on A. And to do that, all you have to do is select all, click, and drag. Okay. And so I did that with all 3 of these, and then I did it again, and now we're at E below the F sharp. So we went down and up, and so we end up with 3 chord progressions. And these can go in any order we want. We could go and so it really doesn't make any difference how you choose to do it. You can use any chords you want. You can just decide you wanted this to be, but maybe we'll change our minds and we'll decide that these should be in G, and that would be just fine. You just select them. We'll drag them all down to G. Let's see, I think I made a mistake there. Okay, so now we're going to F sharp, we'll go to G, and then to E. And we have to do it to all 3. You have to remember that. Okay, and so now As you can see, anything will work. You can make any chord progression that you want. And generally, you're going to make a 4-chord progression. It usually works best, though you can do as few as 2. It really depends on the style.